everybody, I'm Merisu the Art Sheep, and thank you so much for checking out this video, and a Merry Christmas to all, or, as the drawing says, a Meowy Catmas. I'll see myself out now. Anyway, for this drawing, I thought I would draw Misato Yoshiko, because this is just the year where I am drawing Misato Yoshiko a lot. She's my original character from my story Revolution Full Color, which I still haven't worked out. I haven't even finished remaking Volume 1. I'm in Chapter 1. I keep saying it's supposed to be this year, but it's not. This year, I think the saying was survive until 2025. The saying should have just been survive 2025, because, oh my goodness, this has just not been my year. It really hasn't. I haven't done half the things that I want to do. In fact, I usually draw more Christmas drawings than this. I draw Christmas gifts, and I also draw maybe like a couple of Christmas themed drawings. None of that this year, because it's just been one of those times. In addition to a whole bunch of other stuff that just happened. Some other stuff have happened too. Recently, was in this month. You can check my community tabs if you want more information about that. But I want to keep this drawing relatively happy. I'll just leave it at this. I didn't do what I wanted to do, and I wish I would have done more. And I always feel bad that I don't do more. My friends always tell me not to feel bad, but it doesn't change. It does not change at all. But that is all was the moopy. I'll save that for the New Year's video where I do my annual the year progress flashback, whatever you want to call it, and I lament at all the stuff that I didn't do. C'est la vie, mon ami. Is that how you say it? I don't know. My brain doesn't know French at this time. I had to think, was it French? I think it was French. Anyway, I came up with this idea of Misato just kind of coming out of a present, because, you know, that's naturally what you would want to get for Christmas is a Misato. You'd want to get a Misato because it's a Meowy Catmas, and she's the best thing to get on a Meowy Catmas. I can't even say it myself. I think if I was going to do something, change something up about this drawing, like, I am pretty proud of it. It was a little bit of a hassle trying to figure out the colors on which color I should use. So, Misato's natural colors are, of course, the MYK. That's what she's based off of. The color model, based off of a printer, and such. So, I thought it would be good then for her to be red, green, and gold, and white for Christmas. I actually did do that a long time ago for a chibi drawing of her. So this one is very similar to that, only it's not chibi. But it was a little bit hard for me to figure out where the colors should go, because I was like, okay, do I put the red where the cyan was, since red is the opposite of cyan, or should I put it where the magenta was, because it's more closer in the looking like cyan. I mean magenta. you get what I'm saying. So should I put it the color that's opposite of it, or should I put it the color that's most like it? In the end, I went for the color that's opposite for the most part. I think there's just a few times where I didn't do that because it would look weird. So I just decided not to do that, because I wanted to make sure that I had the colors evenly distributed and well balanced out. I wanted everything to be, I wanted to make sure that everything looked proper and such. I want to say that, I promised no mopey talk, but I did want to talk a little bit. Like I said, I usually draw a little bit more Christmas drawings, but this time it just wasn't happening. But the one thing that I would say is, because I didn't draw many Christmas drawings, I just drew this one. I actually ended up making this before Christmas. There's been times where I've literally not finished the Christmas drawing until Christmas Day. Like, I literally finished coloring it on Christmas Day. I edited, I recorded the audio all on that day, and it's a rush to get everything done before I start opening presents. But this time I finished it quite a few days before. It was on the 19th. Well, actually, no, I finished the drawing on the 18th, and I edited on the 19th. So that was very nice that I was able to do that. And I do have, and I don't want to overshoot myself, because I'm when I say something, that's when it doesn't happen. But I mean, hopefully, Lord willing, if God allows me, I have free drawings planned out for New Year's. Let's just say one. We have one drawing planned out for New Year's, and then maybe 2 more will follow. I'm planning on doing kind of like a New Year's countdown. So 3, 2, 1, and it'll be kind of a summarization of my movie experience this year, if that makes sense. So if you guys are like not new to the channel, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. I'm basically going to draw my most fan art of my 3 most favorite movies that I've seen this year, and use it like to count down. So again, if you know the channel, you know what it is. You just know what it is. So fun fact, I ended up drawing the background of this, and it wasn't like great or anything, but I was like, okay, I finished it, I can move on with my life. And then when I opened it up, I realized it was gone. And I was like, where's my background? Where's my background? Where'd it go? And then I realized I didn't push saved. Why? See, what happened was, most likely, is that my computer ended up shutting down unexpectedly, and sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes clipstudiopaint is a nice boy, and it actually restores my drawing. And it did restore it. But I must have not saved it after that. So that is why you're right now currently seeing a blurry sketch. Because I had to trace over... Even though it was lost to clipstudiopaint, I had recorded it through OBS. So I just took a screenshot of it, stretched it out so it would be the same size, and that is what I'm tracing over. Because I was like, I worked hard on that background. Give it to me back! Luckily, it wasn't like it was something hard to trace or anything like that. So that was nice. Also, I watched a Nekarina short, and I learned about Color Gambit Select, so that was also really nice. I figured out what that is. I was like, yes, I have something. I didn't use it here. I don't know why I bring it up. I guess I just bring it up because I wanted to finally talk about it, because I'm so excited, because I've been looking for a tool like that, and apparently it always existed, and I was just too dumb to notice. Which doesn't surprise me. So for the tree, I just did gold tinsel garland, because I absolutely love gold tinsel garland. I got it on my tree, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. This year, this was so funny, when I was decorating the tree, I do it with my mommy, and we had it all spun around, and she's like, oh, it's perfect, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not going to the bottom, because I ended up starting off with the larger one, and the only one left was the smaller one, and she's like, just leave it alone, and I'm like, nah, I'll fix it. So I undid it, and she had a heart attack. She was like, no, it was perfect, why'd you do it? He's like, I can't help it. This year's definitely been one of those Christmases where things are just gonna be different, and it's not the same, and everything's just chaotic and hectic, but there has been some nice moments like that. So, yeah. I think that, if I had to say one thing that I would do different, like actively change that was in my control this year, I think I probably would have tried to have done gifts, just because I know I keep going on about it, but I can't help it. It's in my nature. It's just because I think I did end up having some time for it. I just didn't end up doing them. But whatever. I'd say the one problem, if I did actually attempt to do the gifts, is that just because I did have like time doesn't mean I would actually have the mental capacity to do it, because I barely had the mental capacity to do this one or the ones that I'm planning to do with New Year's. It's just whatever. Like I said, let's move on. So onto the coloring. Like I said, it was kind of a decision if I should make the colors reverse of what the original ones are, or if I should make them like what's complementary, not complementary, what's the word? I'm not gonna figure it out, but the one that's more closer to it. So the reverse of magenta would be green, but it looks kind of a little bit more closer to red. So I mostly decided to go with it being the reverse. So everything that was magenta, I made green. Everything that was yellow, I just made gold, because there's not much difference in that. And then everything that was cyan, I made red. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how I did it. The only thing I didn't change was her eye. As you can see, her eye was originally going to be magenta, but I decided to change it up to green. That was the one time I actually I was originally gonna do it red, because I was gonna do the color that was most closest to magenta, just so it would look normal, but I decided to really spruce things up with this drawing, and I made it green. And I gotta say, it was fun making Misato's green eyes. Fun fact, she actually can change the color of her bangs, markings, and eyes with her powers. Don't ask me how. It's just one of those weird things that aren't explained about her powers. It's kind of like how in My Hero Academia, Mina Ashido's powers are acid, but she has horns, and I don't think the skin and eyes make sense, but I don't think the horns are really made sense. I think it's just an aesthetic choice that Horikoshi did. So her ability to change the color in her eyes and hair, it's just like one of those things. Well, I'm not sure about her hair though, because the hair is already dead when it's on the hair, once it's on the head. So probably not the hair, but she can change the eyes and her eye markings because of the blood or something. I don't know. I just make it happen. I don't explain it because I'm awful explaining things. I really liked the wood pattern that I had on it. If I had more time, I would have tried to draw something myself, but I didn't, because even though I wasn't like, in the end, like I said, I did finish this drawing way sooner than I thought, and was on the 19th. But at the time of the creation, especially when I was working on it at this stage, I just didn't know. I did not know. And I was just like, I don't want to leave it to chance. So we're just gonna use a pattern. And in the end, that's like one of the biggest battles in digital art, is trying to figure out, okay, do I actually take the time to use an asset, or do I draw it myself so I'm not lazy? And sometimes you do just need to use an asset, especially if it's something that's going to be like in the background, that's not going to be focused on. I guess I always just don't like using assets, because I'm like, oh, if I don't do it myself, people will be like, oh, you didn't make it yourself, you need to make everything by scratch. It's like, yes, I know, technically it's definitely more amazing if I make it by scratch, but nonetheless, there's just sometimes where it's not worth it. So it is kind of a challenge for me. Okay, so this fireplace, I was working on it and ended up looking horrible, but then I ended up actually looking up a reference to a fireplace, and it ended up looking a lot better. So yeah, references. I don't know how many times I need to tell myself that. Get lots of references. And I do. I get way more than I used to. Because I used to be younger and foolish, and I'd be like, you don't need references. If you have references, that's cheating. Blah, 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 blah. I used to think that when I was younger, and I don't think that anymore. The only reason why I don't have references all the time ready with me to go is just because I'm lazy. It has nothing to do with my ego. It has to do with my laziness. I'm not sure if the mirror and window would be seen. I mean, if the tree and window would be seen in the mirror. I just put them in there because, I don't know, it looks weird. I ended up using this pattern just to give the wall a little bit more color to it, but I ended up adjusting the colors to it. Again, that's where that color gambit tip came in handy, because I definitely didn't want the background to upstage the foreground. So I need to make it, I want it to be noticeable, like, okay, you can actually see something on there, so it's not just a blank wall, so it doesn't look like a void, but at the same time, I didn't want it to overpower anything, so it was kind of like finding the right balance. In the end, I think I did. I add these white roses to the tree just because I was like, okay, I got the green, I got the red was the balls, and I got the gold was the garland. I need some white on there now. So I ended up adding these white roses. I got the idea from the Christmas tree that's seen in the video game, Code Realize Wintertide, which is basically a Christmas video game. And because it's a Christmas video game, I only played around Christmas. So because I only played around Christmas, I never actually finished it. Well, to be fair, the reason why I also didn't finish it is because the only thing I have left in it really is the triangle achievement. It's where you're supposed to date like 2 men at once, and I'm just like, no. I mean, yes, but no. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I'm not the type of girl. I'm not. I don't. It's not supposed to be like it's not like a double threesome thing. It's more of just like, hey, I asked this guy and I asked this guy and they're both in love with me, but I don't think it's a date. It's more kind of like that, I think. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't like seeing guys fight over me. I don't find that romantic. So it's just like, I don't want to do it, but I want those CGs. So I gotta play it. And now that I'm finished with this drawing, I might play it. I might take a 5-second break to play it. But like I said, there's 3 drawings I technically want to work on for Christmas, and I only got one of them halfway done. Not even half. Less than half. It was more like 25%. Okay, so I did the sketch. That would be like the first 10%. And the line art would be the next 25%. So yeah, not even full 25% because I'm not finished with the line art. And luckily for the background, I'm just going to do a pattern. I'm not going to do anything remotely like this, because if I did, we won't think about that. We will not think about it. I think for my New Year's drawing, okay, so technically, my first drawing of the year, my New Year's drawings will be those 3 drawings that I told you about, that I'm keeping a secret, but like I said, you might be able to guess. But as for the first drawing of the year, I think I might do Yona of the Dawn, because the Queen is returning, folks. Yona of the Dawn, after 10 years, is getting a sequel, finally. I actually, the only reason why I actually read the manga was because I hoped that it would continue, and it never did. But I still continued reading the manga because I was really enjoying it. But then the series was kind of dragging, and so I was like, I'm not sure about this. And I think I stopped at volume... So I own up to, I think, volume 32. But I stopped... I haven't read past 29. If I remember correctly. And, yeah, because Beyond the Dawn was the one series where I wasn't reading it as chapters. I was just reading it as volumes, and I read each volume one at a time. And I bought them. Because, like I said, that was kind of the entire point. I figured if I bought the volumes, I would be able to, catch up. I think when I started, I want to say, when I started reading it, it was like on volume, I can't remember. I'm going to talk more about it in my own Speedpaint, so I don't know why I'm talking about it now. I want to say it was on volume 6 or something. It wasn't where the manga was. I mean, the anime was. And so when it finally got past the point of the anime, I got so excited because I was like, yay! We're going into new territory. Anyway, back to the drawing. For the colors, like I said, I replaced the black with white and nice wintry white. And I gotta say, I can't tell if white's Misato's color or not. I mean, it looks a little kind of off, kind of wacky with the green, red, and gold. So maybe if it was, I think it's when it was the magenta, cyan, and yellow, it looks a little more natural. The one thing that is funny is that every time someone looks at Misato, they think she's something else. They think, there's this, flag, the LGBTQ flag, I think it's the one that represents pansexuality. It has the same colors as Misato, kind of a magenta, yellow, and cyan color, a darker cyan color. So sometimes when people see her, I think they think that she's an mascot for pansexuality. No, sorry to disappoint you guys. She's not. She's just based off of printer color. So now every time I talk about her, I just put that down below. Because I don't want to give anybody the wrong idea. I don't want to give anybody false hope and seeing something that they're not going to see. No. Misato isn't a mascot for pansexuality, and she's not pansexual. She's just boring straight. So, yeah, I just find that funny. But there will be no mistaking on what she is this time. She's the perfect pretty Christmas gift. That's what she is. And at last minute, I decided to add Sumi. They're sleeping, but then I realized I rather had Sumi in the box. So later you'll see me put him in the box with her, with his little eyeballs poking. But then I realized I couldn't have two Sumi, so I changed the color. But then it kind of looked weird with just one brown cat sitting on the side. So I added an orange cat. I used a 3D model to help me because it was just like, I don't have time to draw a cat from scratch. So I just used 3D models. And, yeah, that was very handy. And I drew an orange cat, and then I drew a white cat over in the side by the fireplace. I think maybe I should have drawn one more, but I was trying to keep it at 4 since Misato's got 4 colors. I didn't want to number Misato, but I probably should have done one more just on the other side because it looked a little unbalanced. And I might, if you see it at the end, or you'll see it on the DeviantArt post, there might be one more cat, but you won't see it in the Speedpaint because I didn't record it. So anyway, that was the drawing. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, do all the YouTube things. If you didn't, thank you so much for watching this far anyway. It means a lot to me. I had a lot of fun making this drawing. I wish it could have been better, and I wish I could have done more Christmassy things, but considering everything that's going on, I think I did pretty good at it. So I hope you all have a very Christmas, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Until New Year's, bye!